I think that through this dream that God, God really showed me the sadness of a lost soul. The tragedy of his creation. And he showed me some of the sadness and the way I was crying and the way I was groveling. I was groveling in front of these people, asking them for their hearts and asking for the souls. And even with them being worth nothing, with these people not knowing what was going to happen after death, if anything, with these hearts and souls being worth zero, they still were not willing to give them up to God and be saved. And that was just, God showed me some of the sadness, and he really taught me that the cost of awkwardness or of humiliation, for having this sort of conversation with another individual that's lost, really can't compare ever to the benefit of them coming to join God. There's no way that the cost of losing a friendship or alienating someone could ever replace the benefit of moving from hell to heaven. There's just no comparison. And that sadness really shocked me and really opened my eyes for when I was walking around the next couple days. I was just seeing all these people that I should be crying over, and I should be, just giving it my all because of what they're facing in a couple of years, 20 years. But I wasn't. I was just going about my own business, and that was pretty shocking for me to see how callous I was, to see how uncaring I was of people that were really facing something that nobody deserves. Nobody deserves this sort of separation from God. And to see these people not accept it was not the big deal. It was to see myself not caring about it. Having this gift for myself, but not being, showing it to others and pleading with others to accept it, because there's nothing better that I could do for them or they could do for themselves, but to make that decision. So it was sad for me to see, the uselessness of my ways. So that's one dream I'll never forget it. It reminds me of this passage from Ezekiel. My mom showed me this passage, and it really talks about how to witness to people in our everyday environments. I just come off a missions trip, and verse 5 is just like that: obscure speech, difficult language. But sometimes people are just so excited to find out why you traveled to that obscure location, 10,000 miles just to talk with these people. So going back to your university or going back to your job, it's difficult, especially a place like Michigan. Verse 7: the whole house of Israel is hard and obstinate towards God. And it sounds just like where many of us come from. But God makes this promise, verse 8, verse 9. I will make you as unyielding and as hardened as they are. Pretty hard. It just offers the encouragement, being sharper than, harder than the hardest stone or flint. And we get to this point by truly understanding the benefits versus the costs. By having dreams, by reading God's Word, by asking Him, we understand the benefits of a lost person no longer being separated from God. That's a pretty big thing, something that a lot of us are very excited about. And we should be compelled to have other people as excited as we are. It should be clear to us that the benefits of a lost person being saved clearly outweigh tenfold, 100-fold the costs in our own heads or in life of isolating ourselves or of embarrassment or humiliation or stuff like that. So that was that first dream, just showing me the distance between what I was doing in real life and what was really most important about life. And that really broke me down. It was really hard for me to go through, but I'm glad that happened. This second dream was so different. It was hopeful, I guess. I just had it last night, and I went to bed and it was storming. And it was storming pretty bad. I didn't look at the weather or whatever, but I fell asleep and it was coming down pretty hard. And the dream, whatever was happening in real life started working its way into this dream. In this dream, we were on a bus. It was me and my missions trip team from El Salvador, and we were just sitting there, and it was at night. It was pouring and thundering and lightning strikes in our area. And for some reason we had failed, or we had done something, we had not completed some sort of task, and we were solemn, we were sad, and there was just a heaviness in the air, in the bus and outside as well. And I was just looking outside the window and just thinking like, wow, this is really a sick state of the world that we live in. Every lightning strike, just a flash of illumination, you could see the sky for a moment, just a dark green, a sickly green color, and it just strikes all around us, and just like the earth was like, punishing itself, whipping itself, it seemed. And we're just sitting there and just sitting through it, and it was a drab moment, and then suddenly, after a while of this, just heard this noise, a universal noise, it seemed like, from every direction, of horses, of chariots, of a horse like rearing up, and at that moment everybody looked around, and we saw the horizon of the sky peel back, like a curtain was being raised, and there was something behind it, just like on a stage. And so the curtain just was thrown up, and we saw on the horizon, just it had gone from black and dark green to white and pink and orange and red, and just a brilliant scene of what looked to be a full ship, like some sort of like an arc, and this arc stretched. It was huge. It was on the horizon, but it stretched the entire length of the horizon. And once this curtain shot up, we knew exactly, within an instant, of what was going on. It was Christ coming back, and just this wave of relief hit us, and it was all smiles, and the weight in our bodies just dissipated, and we weren't floating, we weren't flying around, but it was a sense of weightlessness, that my arm was floating towards the sky, and it was that feeling that you have when you go over the top of a roller coaster, but it wasn't in the stomach or throat, it was in your heart, and the heart was just really light, and it was floating, and it just felt so great, and it was just like crossing a finish line. I've never run a marathon, but it felt probably like it does. Crossing that line, and just this fluttering of the heart, and it was just an amazing moment, and I felt such a sense of relief, and a sense of finality, that it was over, and the party was about to begin, and just that sense of light feeling in the heart was just something I would never forget. And I woke up. I don't know what time it was. I was really just stunned by what I had just felt in my heart, and something I wanted to give to as many people as possible. And it was really weird how I woke up. I woke up to thunder, but with the thunder was birds singing, and it didn't make any sense to me. How could there could be? It sounded like 100 birds. The birds were just chirping away, and there was thunder and flashes of lightning. It was still raining, but there was birds, and I didn't understand it. I thought maybe that's the morning birds, or they're here for the morning, sticking around. But 2 hours later, I don't know, they were gone, and so was the rain. And it was really weird. I didn't hear any birds later that morning at all. 6 in the morning, 8 in the morning, they were gone. So just for a little bit, there was about 100 birds chirping in my ear, singing, while there was a crazy lightning storm outside my window. So that was that second dream. Just this picture of hope and of excitement for what's ahead to come. And those are my 2 dreams, and I thought I would just share. That's pretty much it. 2 things that will stick with me for quite a while. Thanks for watching.